It's an unstoppable day, everyone. And I am Terrence, the unstoppable Coach Leffridge with Unstoppable Coaching Services. And I want to just spend a little bit of time with you this afternoon, if you don't mind, talking to you about what it's going to take for you to get the most out of this conference. I'm excited to be here with you at the Unleashed Take the Limits Off Your Life conference, the Empowerment Conference here this afternoon. And I want to help you get the most out of your conference. I want to help you to be able to set the stage to do what you must do to maximize everything that you've learned out of this conference today. And then I also want to help you avoid the temptation to do what I call getting lost in the hangover. So I am an accountability coach. I am a motivational speaker, and I am a author of the best-selling Amazon book called You Are Unstoppable: 11 Key Attributes for Living an Unstoppable Life in Whatever You Do. And I mainly work with startup businesses that have been in business for less than 2 years, and I help them to create their vision, to implement their vision, and to, more importantly, hold them accountable to making their vision a reality. Now, many of you have probably done the first two things that I mentioned already in your startup businesses. You've created your vision, and maybe you've even done some things, you've implemented some things to bring that vision closer to a reality. But if you're at this conference today, and many of you are sitting out here in the conference right now, you're probably here because you need to have some action behind what it is you're trying to do with your business. You may need some accountability. And by accountability, you may need to develop some strategies and develop some tools to take your business to the next level. And that's why you showed up at the Unleashed conference here this afternoon. And I want to be able to help you in the little time that we have together maximize everything that you're going to learn today. Some things you've probably already learned before lunch, and then we've got some more exciting, unstoppable sessions this afternoon that may be just what you need to take it to the next level. Can I hear somebody say, take it to the next level? Thank you so very much. Now, I just love going to conferences because I love what happens in a conference. In a conference, you get to hear great speakers. You get to go and hear great content. You get to be around great thought leaders, great speakers, great coaches that will fill you with information and will be able to tell you their story in an intimate fashion. I like the fact that you can go to a conference and you can have an eye-opening and an amazing experience. Now, some of you today, you're going to have an eye-opening and amazing experience, and you're going to be left with what I call the awakening effect or the aha moment. Something you're going to hear or something that someone's going to say today or something that you're going to see in your interaction with Vanessa and with Derek and with Samantha and with myself is going to allow you to see that this is just the tip of the iceberg for you in creating that vision for your life, for your business, or for your ministry that's going to take you to the next level. Now, for some of you, you're also going to have an eye-opening and an amazing experience today. And there's something that you're going to hear or something that's going to be said or something that you're going to see today that's going to let you know that you're already on the right track. It's going to be a confirmation of some things that you've already been doing in your life, in your business, or in your ministry that's just going to make you feel validated in what you're doing. And I like to call that the validation effect. But then there's also going to be some other of you here today that's going to have an eye-opening and an amazing experience today. But you're going to be so loaded with information, and you're going to have so many ideals running around in your head, and you're going to see so many possibilities that can come out of this conference today that you are literally going to be physically and mentally drained by the time this day is over. You're going to have so much energy running inside of you that you're going to be bubbly, and you're going to wonder what it is that you're going to do next. You're going to find out that there might be some things that you've really got to do. You're going to find out that you really need to get your assets in gear if you're going to make this conference be beneficial to you and what it is that you're trying to do for your life, for your business, or your ministry. And I like to call that the hangover effect. And if you know anything about the hangover, you know that in a hangover is defined by actually having a letdown after a period of great excitement. When I go to conferences, I just am filled with so much energy, and I am filled with so much synergy from being around all these like-minded people in the room that I am just on a natural high. But it's when that conference is over that the hangover take place. I'm gonna tell you a personal story. I just attended a conference in Washington, D.C., where I was given the opportunity, the privilege to be one of 83 different speakers at a conference called the 72 Hours of Power, a motivational conference. And it was my second time being a part of the 72 Hours of Power, but it was my first time being there in person. Because you see, in 2013, I was able to be a part of that conference virtually. I was able to send in a motivational video that I created, and it was broadcast throughout the country, throughout the world on the 72 Hours of Power Internet Broadcast Network. But, and when I did that conference in 2013, I was able to speak at 9, 10 o'clock in the evening here, Chicago time. But people were seeing me around the world. Some were seeing me on the East Coast at 10 o'clock. Some were seeing me on the West Coast at 7 or 8 o'clock at night. Some of you were seeing me at London, where it was 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And that exposure was just unstoppable. And it has gotten me to the point where you see me standing here today as an Amazon best-selling author. But the other thing that happened while I was virtually broadcasting, I could see that in the location where they were doing the live stream for the 72 Hours of Power, they had a live studio audience. And that live studio audience was engaged in what I was saying, along with the rest of the virtual audience that was watching via live stream. And I was able to get my message out about you being unstoppable and to instantly have it resonate with the audience that was in the room at that time. And I said to myself right then and there at 11 o'clock, 11:30 at night in 2013, that the next time this event happened, I was not going to send in a video. I was going to get on a plane and I was going to go there. I spoke life to that situation because I understood that being a part of the group was just as important as being a part of the program. Someone's going to get that when you leave here today. Being a part of the group was just as important as being a part of the program. See, sometimes you can be involved in something that's going on from the outside looking in, but it takes on a different perspective when you are part of the group, when you are on the inside, when you are able to see things happening from an inside approach. But that's a whole nother conversation. Let me get back to the 72 Hours of Power. So I spoke life to my situation, saying that next time around, I was actually going to be a part of 72 Hours of Power, and I was going to be there in person. And I put myself in situations where I got around the promoters of the program. I would talk to them on the phone. I would be a part of their webinars that they had weekly and monthly. I would show up on their Facebook page. I was exposing myself to them, and I was creating the intention of what I wanted to have happen. And to make a long story short, I was blessed this year to be invited as the thousands and thousands of people that was watching that broadcast virtually. And as a result of being in that space, and a result of speaking life to my situation and being a part of that conference, came this relationship that I created with Vanessa Collins that has me speaking before you here today. So I want to say to you as a sidebar, there is power in going to conferences. There is power in you being in this room. And the things that you are going to learn today are going to unleash your power going forward. I guarantee you. Somebody say, unleash your power. Thank you. Thank you, Sid. Hey, I love the way you said that. Unleash your power. But it's not only enough to unleash your power at these conferences. You've got to understand that there is stuff that needs to be done after the conference. And the things that you do, the things that you learn here, and the things that you do after you leave here are going to make the difference between you being able to unleash your power or you being caught in the temptation of getting lost in your hangover. So I want to talk briefly about some things for the rest of my time here with you, if you don't mind. Things that you need to do to avoid that temptation of getting lost in the hangover, getting lost in that letdown, getting lost in that spiral of having the excitement fade away. You leave here and going back until your reality. You know, after this conference is over, some of you are going to get in your cars and you're going to drive back to your houses here in Chicago. Some of you, it's going to be a little further drive, and it's going to require you to take a little bit more time to get back to your reality. And then for even some of you, it's going to require you to actually go back to the airport or go back to the bus station and go back to your cities where your reality is going to take over and life is going to happen. You are going to be caught up in the hangover. I remember when I left the conference earlier this year, I had to go back to the airport and I was still bubbly with excitement. You know, I had got the chance to meet uh, great orators like Dr. Willie Jolly, who's recognized as the #6 motivational speaker in the world today. I got the opportunity to have my picture taken and to give my book to Delatoro McNeil, who is a certified speaking professional and number 32 on the world-renowned speakers currently today in America. I got the opportunity to be around millionaire sales geniuses. I had the opportunity to be around wonderful thought leaders. I had the opportunity to talk about my brand and to talk about what it meant to me to be unstoppable. I got an opportunity to not only promote my book, but to sell my book. But then I had to go to the airport. And then it was over. And what was I going to do? I was so full of energy, but I didn't know which way to focus it. And someone sitting here right now, you're probably in that same situation. You probably heard Vanessa's great presentation on the 14 different ways to get your book written fast. And you see the possibilities. You see the possibilities of what is going to now take to actually get that book out of your head, get it into book form, and get it out to the masses for that somebody who is waiting to see your message. And it's an exciting time. I know you probably just want to jump up and down in your seat right now, run up and down the aisles, and say to the world, yes, 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 yes. And that's all right today. But what are you going to do tomorrow when the hangover hits? Well, I want to talk to you about three things that I think you can do to avoid the temptation of getting lost in that hangover. And it's going to continue to push you to maximize your efforts and to set the stage for you to have unstoppable success in your future, unleashing your power and walking in your purpose. So, the first thing that I want you to do to avoid the temptation of getting lost in the hangover is I want you to refocus your efforts. Now, what do I mean by refocusing your efforts? Well, the definition of the word refocus means to change the emphasis or the direction of. So, in order for you to avoid getting lost in the hangover, I need you to refocus. And a good word for refocus is decide. You know, Anthony Robbins said that your life changes the moment you make a committed decision. So, ladies and gentlemen, what are you going to decide to do? How are you going to refocus your efforts today so that you can make your tomorrow a better tomorrow for your life, for your business, for your ministry? What are you going to decide to do differently about who you are in your life, who you are in your business, who you are in your ministry? What is your brand? What does your brand speak for? What do you want your life to be all about? What do you want the people who look at you, the people who you want to buy your book today, the people who see you on stage as that entertainer, as that singer? What do you want them to perceive about you? Whatever it is, I need you to refocus on that and maximize your efforts starting today. What is it that you want your business to be known for? Write it down right here, right now. After I get off the stage right now and I relinquish it over to the next presenter, you should be taking notes about what you've learned today, what takeaways you've gotten from each presenter today, and how you're going to use that to fuel the person that you want to be in your business, how you want your business to be seen as a whole. So when you decide and refocus on what it is you want your business to be, who you want to be in your life, and what you want your ministry to look like, you're not going to have time to get caught up in the hangover that's surely going to come from this conference today. But that's not it, family. After you refocus on who you are and what you want your life, your business, or your ministry to be, then I'm going to need you to recommit to making that a reality. Say recommit. Recommit just simply means to do, to perform, or to devote oneself, to pledge to do something. So I need you to recommit to who that person is that you're going to be refocusing on. Recommit to doing the things that you need to do to get to the places that you want to go. You know, there was a famous quote that people today will do what some people won't so that they can have tomorrow what others don't. This conference is helping you to unleash that power that's going to give you that extra sense of urgency to make your visions happen, not now, but right now. This conference was created so that you can unleash that power so that you can move forward in your commitment to building that business that's going to be a blessing to someone, to building that business that's going to solve someone's problems, to building that business that's going to relieve somebody of their pain, to building that business that's more about solutions and less about problems. But you've got to recommit yourself to making that business everything it needs to be. If you're that person that has that book that somebody is waiting to read, that's going to absolutely change their minds and change their lives, then I want you to commit to finishing that book, not now, but right now. Because now you've gotten the tools that's going to help you create and finish that book fast so that it can get out to the person that's been waiting oh so long for you to do it. You know, when I wrote my book, You Are Unstoppable, it took me over 3 years. And 2 years and 9 months of those 3 years was all about me procrastinating, was all about me not moving past my fears and my doubts. It was all about me not thinking that what I had to say was of value to somebody out there. I know my book isn't for everyone, but I've learned in those final 3 months of creating the book, getting the book out there, and physically having the book at the back table that you can purchase after we get through with my presentation today. In those final 3 months, I learned that it wasn't about me. It was about the gift that God gave to me to give to you. And once I refocused my thinking as to my purpose in writing that book, and then once I recommitted myself to making that book a reality, then I was able to push through all the fears and all the doubts and to make that book not just a vision, but a reality. There's someone out there right now that means to move your book from a vision to a reality. And you've gotten the tools today, and I need you to recommit to making that happen. You know, they say genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. You've got the inspiration. You've had the inspiration for some time. Now I need you to push through. I need you to put in the work. I need you to put in the sweat. I need you to put in the perspiration to make that book a reality. The quality of a person's life is in the direct proportion to their commitment to the excellence, regardless of their chosen field of endeavor. That comes from the great legendary coach of Green Bay, Vince Lombardi. But it's that last phrase that I want you to really take to heart. Regardless of what your chosen field or endeavor is, once you commit to excellence in that field, then you are going to have a higher level of life. You're going to see a higher level of fulfillment, and you're going to have a greater sense of accomplishments once you decide and commit to making that your reality. So, in order to avoid being lost in that hangover effect that you're going to get from being a part of this conference, I want you to refocus. I want you to recommit. But then finally, last and most of all, I want you to recognize, if you haven't recognized it already, that you don't have to do this thing all by yourself. You know, our greatest glory is not in never falling, but it's in rising every time we fall. Maybe you've had a hard time rising from your latest failures, from your latest falls, because you were trying to get up on your own. But have you ever seen somebody fall and try to get up on their own power? It doesn't take one arm, it takes two. It takes two things working together at the same time to give them that extra energy to get up. Or have you ever seen someone who's fallen and then someone has come to their aid and they are able to stretch out their hand and the other person is stretching out their hand back down to them, and together their force, their pushing and pulling allows that person to get up off the ground. I want you to take that to heart today. You don't have to use your own force to get to where it is you're trying to go. You have a room full of thought leaders, you have a room full of coaches, and you have a room full of like-minded individuals with you right now that if you just ask and seek them out, then you will find it a lot more easier for you to get to where it is you're trying to go by using the collective embodiment, the collective force of more than one person to get to the next level. You know, in the greatest book ever written, Matthew's verse, chapter 7, verse 7, it says, "Seek and ye shall find, ask and it will be given unto you." So I want you to recognize today that all you have to do is ask and seek out what it is you need to take your business and to take your ministry to the next level. And then you will not be lost in the hangover. If you don't know what the next thing you need to do to make that book a reality, ask Vanessa. She's right over there. She can help you, coach you to get that book to the next level. If you don't know what you need to do to get more exposure for your business, ask me right after I get done. I'm right here. I specialize in helping startup businesses take their business to the next level. If you don't know how to network and to talk to other people to effectively let them know what's going on with your business, what you can provide for somebody, then there's a brother right here that is a master networker. Ask, seek, and you shall find. But finally, family, and most importantly, you have got to believe in yourself. If I don't leave you with anything today, I want you to understand that in order for you to not get lost in the hangover, you've got to believe that there's something else that you need to do. You've got to believe that you have value to share with someone else. You've got to believe that you were brought here for a reason. You were brought here to this conference to learn something so that you could do something and so that you could turn around and teach somebody else that which you have learned. If you believe all those things, then you will be able to unleash the power that's inside of you. You will be able to help somebody get to the next level of their greatness, and you will honestly be unstoppable. I'm Terrence, the Unstoppable Coach Leffridge. Thank you for allowing me some time to share with you the keys to not getting lost in the hangover. Now, I don't want you to just go have a great rest of the day. I want you to have an unstoppable day. Take care.